Over here, you see me together with two of our Spanish dentists who are working in the Netherlands, and also my colleague Nienke below. But in this webinar, I would like to present ourselves, BGB Dentistry, and to tell you once again why we are helping dentists to start a career in the Netherlands. That's also why I have made an index, so you can see also what we're going to discuss. So for example, why the Netherlands? Why is it interesting maybe to think about a career in the Netherlands? How does registration as a dentist in the Netherlands looks like, and what do you need to do for it in order to get registered and recognized as a healthcare provider over here? Then I also will introduce ourselves more. What is BGB Dentistry? Who's the team behind BGB Dentistry? Plus, I also will give you a nice impression about how our program looks like. So what's the way, how we help our dentists? How does our program look like? And finally, the next step and the contact details to help you further if you would like to know more about us or about the program. But first, why the Netherlands? We are already helping dentists for many years. So we actually started in 2012, 2011, if I'm not mistaken, when there was a big financial crisis going on in Spain. So we saw at that time that there were many dentists, and I think you know it, there were many dentists in Spain looking for better job opportunities. But here in the Netherlands, it was the other way around. So here we have a big lack of dentists, and that's still nowadays the case. So we wanted to help and look for dentists abroad, so meaning Spain, to inform them about the job opportunities in the Netherlands. So for them, it was also a very nice way to know that there are vacancies, a lot of vacancies for dentists in our country. Why Spain? Because also we have seen that the level of education and what you also have obtained in universities normally matches very well what the dental clinics here in the Netherlands also look for. And so we directly saw that there was a good match between the Spanish dentist and the Dutch dental clinics. And they adapted very well in the Dutch society as well, also in the clinics. So that's also why we all the time have been looking from dentists in Spain because it was simply a good match between Spain and the Netherlands. But especially because of the fact that here in the Netherlands, there's a big lack of dentists, the Netherlands became an interesting country for Spanish dentists to think about as next destination where they would like to work and to live. And especially because here in the Netherlands, think about it, if there's a big lack of dentists, it's attractive to work over here. So you can easily find a job over here as a dentist. Plus, you can do everything what you have learned as a dentist. So it's not only that people come for a pain complaint to the clinic. No, it's the whole variety of the general dentistry. You can actually do everything what you have learned, what you would like to do as a dentist. You can put it into practice daily in the Dutch dental clinics, which makes, again, the Netherlands an interesting country to think about if you really would like to feel respected as a dentist over here. And that's, you're happy with the job that you have. And that's also, you go every day, happy to your job, happy to your clinic, because you simply like the job that you are doing. Plus, as I mentioned before, people here in the Netherlands, they don't only come for a pain complaint. They usually go twice per year to the dentist, and not only for a checkup, but here in the Netherlands, you can do the whole variety of the general dentistry. Besides, imagine that you have a high volume of patients every day. So think about an agenda, which easily can be between 15 and 30 patients a day. What can be fillings, what can be an endo, what can be an extraction, what can be an implant, crown, bridges, prosthetics, the whole variety, again, of the general dentistry, which makes it, again, every day very challenging to do your job. So again, and that's also what I wrote over here, it's not only just the treatment, it's also the high quality of dentistry what you can perform every day in your job. Plus, I also have already work here for 11 years right now, and in all the time that I have been working as a recruiter over here at BGB Dentistry, I all the time have heard from several dentists who are working abroad that they are working many hours and also arriving late at home, and also barely have time for their private life. And that is also totally different over here in the Netherlands. The Netherlands is known of its good work-life balance, meaning you work max 8 hours per day, you work, but there's also time for your private life. So it's a nice closure of finishing your day, and then it's time for your private life to pay attention to. If it's for your own social activities, going to the gym, going to the cinema, for example, but also, or if you, for example, have a partner, or have a family, maybe, that's well arranged over here. So max 8 hours per day, and then also then time for your private life. Sometimes it can happen that in the weekend, usually you're free, but it also can be the case that sometimes you have to work. For example, if you have to do an emergency shift of the clinic, but that's once in a while. And that, of course, normally is not every week. It also depends a little bit of like in what kind of clinic you would be working. But usually, again, you're off for the weekends, you're off after 6 o'clock, time for your private life. And besides, the Netherlands, and some maybe as a cliche, is also a safe country. So the Netherlands is also known as one of the safest countries in the world. So it really doesn't matter what kind of gender you have, what kind of religion you follow, what kind of sexual identity also you have, ethnicity, everything. The whole term already says everything about it. You can feel safe in our country, and I think that is in the times where we are living, not all the time in every place, but that's definitely also the case over here in the Netherlands. And besides, we from the beginning we have had good experiences with Spanish dentists. That's also already a little bit written in our name. BGB actually stands for BGB Dentistry is Buena Gente Buena. Why has that a little bit a Spanish connotation? Again, because we started with Spain 12 years ago, and from that moment, we already have had great experiences with the dentists who we have helped that match very well here in the Netherlands, and we see that the majority is still living and working over here. So that I think is also a good sign to know about how happy they are in our country. And as I said in the beginning of this webinar, I can also speak Spanish, also a few other colleagues of mine. So we already have that special affinity also with the country Spain. And that's also why we wanted to call ourselves BGB, Buena Gente Buena, which stands for you're not only good as the person what you are, as a character, but also you're good as a dentist, professionally speaking. So these are the people we would like to help and we would like to have in our program. However, in order to get registered as a dentist in the Netherlands, there are a few steps to take nowadays. When we started, as I said before, around 12 years ago, there was no language requirement. So at that time, it was possible to normally with your degree in dentistry and with your European nationality, you could easily register yourself as a dentist in the Netherlands. But that has changed since a few years ago because the Dutch government introduced a language requirement of level B2 plus in Dutch, which means that only if you have passed a language exam, what again is level B2 plus in Dutch, only from that moment you can start your registration in the Dutch health system. And until you haven't passed that, you're only allowed to work under supervision. So as you can imagine, that's why the language is one of the first priorities and what you have to arrange in order to get started over here in the Netherlands. However, from the beginning, when we started helping dentists around 2012, we already introduced a language course in our program. Why? Because we saw that the dentists who were able to speak the language, they also already had like a plus compared with the dentist who didn't speak the language, who didn't master the language. How? We could see it back in the turnover they were making in the clinic. The ones who were able to speak the language, they could understand the patients, they could communicate with the patients every day, and therefore they also were able to offer the right treatments in that way as well. So we saw that they had a higher turnover compared with the ones who didn't master the language. However, that was until level B1. So all of a sudden, we had to change from level B1 to B2 plus. The basis was already there, but still changing the program from level B1 to B2 plus. Of course, that's also something what we had to adapt to and what we had to improve. But now, a few years later again, we are a certified language institute, which means that we are entitled to offer the language exam ourselves. Due to the results what we have obtained in the last few years, we have been helping dentists for so many years, and therefore, nowadays we also have the certificate to offer the exam ourselves because of the fact also that we are helping Portuguese, Spanish dentists all the time. But again, what is BGB Dentistry? So now I also come to the point also of what is BGB, what is the team behind BGB Dentistry as well. But this is actually what you see in this picture, a nice summary also of who we are. So BGB is a team with an internal team of nowadays 23 people, but also we have helped already more than 350 dentists starting a career in the Netherlands. Let me, by the way, just pause for a second so that I can see if more people will show up. Let me find out. I think everyone is here. Yeah. Let me go back to the slide. Yeah, over here. Again, we have helped in all those years already more than 350 dentists with their career to start a career and new life in the Netherlands. But internally, we are with a team, where you see on the left side, of nowadays 23 people, and each one of us has their own role in our team. So, for example, I am part of the recruitment team together with my other colleagues, with some other colleagues. At this moment of speaking, my colleague Felice, he was yesterday at the presential stand at UCMpleo, where we have been able to meet several dentists, several dentistry students, not only from the Complutense in Madrid, but also from other countries as well. Other universities as well. So it was a very busy day. And today we also have scheduled other conversations on the screens today in Madrid. So if you still are available and you would like to meet us in person, I would say get in touch with me again soon after this webinar. So maybe you can still meet them in person over there. But I also will let you know about it also at the end of this slide and at the end of this webinar once again. But if you can see also in the middle of the slide, it's not only that we help our dentists with learning the language, we actually do everything what you need to do in order to start a career and a life here in the Netherlands. So besides learning the language, we help you with finding a job, but also we stay in touch with you while you're working over here in the Netherlands. And that's also what you see over here on the right side. Once in a while, we organize get-togethers with our dentists spread over the whole Netherlands to meet them, to visit them once again, to have a drink together, to catch up, so that also we are able to get in touch all the time with each other, to find out how you're doing, how's it going with your work, how's it going with your life. Yeah, so in a nutshell, also to keep in touch also with each other. In the middle, though, you see a couple of pictures of BGB ambassadors. And BGB ambassadors are like the dentists who already have followed the program some time ago, but who are, in our opinion, like sort of examples to other dentists who are thinking about going to the Netherlands. They are normally the ones who also go with us to events. So, for example, also today and in this week, we have two Spanish dentists joining us at the Complutense, the Madrid event, the UCMpleo. So we have invited two of our dentists to share their own experiences, because we also see that I can do the talking right now. So I am this Dutch guy talking about how your life and your career could be over here in the Netherlands. But we see and we think it's also way more relevant that our own dentists, they do the talking, that they share also about their own experiences. And that's also, what you see also over here in the dentistry ambassadors, that they are the ones who would like to share their experiences also with you. That's this slide. And as I mentioned before, once in a while we organize get-togethers. So in every region of the country, but 2 times of the year we have 2 parties at BGB itself. So we have a summer party and also a Sinterklaas party for the ones who already have been in the Netherlands once, who already know something about Dutch culture. Sinterklaas is one of the main Dutch traditions where normally kids get presents around the 5th of December. But we would like to use that day also to celebrate it also with our dentist, where we're going to play board games, all typical Dutch games, but just, with the purpose to be together, to get together, and to have a nice time together as well. But also in the summer party, we organize a party at our office so that we would like to have a nice time together in the summer as well. But then the program. So as I mentioned a few minutes ago, we would like to help dentists with everything they need in order to start working and living as a dentist in the Netherlands. So besides the language part, everything what you need to arrange, like finding a job in a Dutch dental clinic, help with the paperwork, help with your registration over here, with your installation, finding accommodation, everything what you can think about, we have incorporated that in our program. And that's also why we have a 20-week intensive program in which we do everything what I just mentioned. And this program, as you can see also over here, is divided in 10 weeks online and 10 weeks presentially at our academy. I have used particularly these pictures because we have been in a transition period. For the ones who already knew us, until last year, we all the time had our academy in Austria. We could make use of an hotel over there, what we have been using from the beginning. So we invited all our dentists that after doing the online part, we invited them to go to our hotel in Austria, in which they continued the language course over there. That's also why I added these pictures below, skiing, langlaufen, and also how this looked like in the winter. However, since this year, since a few weeks ago, we said goodbye to that location and we started a new location here directly in the Netherlands. So that means that after doing the first 10 weeks online through e-learning, then you continue the course directly at our academy in the Netherlands. About the 10 weeks of e-learning, the first 5 weeks of those 10 weeks is possible to combine it with your work. Or if you would like to apply right away as a just graduated dentist, if you would be, let's say, finishing your final task at the university, you could combine the first 5 weeks with the course, because the first 5 weeks is part-time. It's a part-time e-learning course where you have a lot of self-study, where you have to make online exercises. But keep in mind that 3 times per week you will have an online class with a teacher, but all the other hours you are totally free to organize at your own way. The other 10 weeks, the other 5 weeks of the 10 weeks e-learning at home is full-time though. So after those 5 weeks, you need to be full-time available in order to continue the second part of the e-learning block, because then you will have classes every day and also together with your whole group where you're in selected. And we normally make groups between 2 to max 12 people nowadays. So that's also why you need to be available to have a good interaction every day with the group, to practice all the time, and in that way also to grow in your language level at the same time. We also arrange your accommodation. So once that you are finishing the e-learning block, you go to our academy And as I mentioned, nowadays that's in the Netherlands. And the idea is that also you will be sharing the houses also with the other dentists. So we are arranging a few houses for all our dentists, and you are sharing the houses also with them. So it's a very nice way of meeting new people, making new friends, learning together at the same time. So it's at that way also not only you're investing in yourself in your future, it's really an extra adventure, an extra experience above your future life over here in the Netherlands. Besides the difference between how it was before and also how it is nowadays, maybe for the ones who already are in touch with us, you know that in Austria, it was like a sort of all-inclusive experience over there. The breakfast, lunch, and dinner was arranged already. Here in the Netherlands, it's a little bit different regarding the setup, because nowadays we give you the budget so that you can buy the stuff whatever you want, and because nowadays we are dealing with vegetarian people, vegan people, people who only love to eat meat. So each one of you, and normally all the dentists, they have their own preferences, and that's also why we think it's modern nowadays that we make a budget available, but you can buy the stuff what you want. And then it's up to you if you would like to have dinner together with the others, or if you would like to have dinner by yourself. You are totally flexible to organize it and to design it how you would like to have it actually. And in those 10 weeks when you're here in the Netherlands, the advantage of being here already is, of course, that we can take you easily to a dental clinic. And so while you are learning the language, we also will be able to find you a job in a Dutch dental clinic. And therefore, it's a very nice way of taking you on the course one day to make a visit to the dental clinic, or that maybe the clinic will meet you, maybe in person at the academy location. That also can be the case, of course. But yeah, the fact that you're already here in the Netherlands is a big advantage, and is also one of the reasons why we decided to relocate the academy location now to the Netherlands, which also sounds maybe way more logical at the same time as well. During these 2 weeks, you will go from level A2 to B2 plus in Dutch. And it's, by the way, not only general Dutch, it's also combined with dental vocabulary, Dutch dental vocabulary. So anything what you need to know, what you need to learn as a dentist, with all the vocabulary what you need to know as a dentist, like extraction, the root canal treatments, everything in Dutch, we will train you in this, and we will make sure that after those 10 weeks presentially at our academy in the Netherlands, that we will get you at the required level what you need to have. I do know from our experience that, and especially also dentists in Spain, that they say, oof, learning a language from scratch, a strange language, Dutch, what doesn't have anything to do with the Spanish language, will I be able to learn it? And the answer is, don't worry about it. As I said in the beginning of this webinar, yes, logically, you need to be motivated to learn a new language. But we only have like a level of English as one of the requirements we set for joining a program. And the rest, especially because of the fact that we have good experiences all the years with Spanish dentists, I would like to say, don't worry about it. We'll get you there. And if you're motivated to learn the language, and the fact that we already have been helping dentists for so many years, and the fact that we are nowadays an accredited language institute, which means that we know what we are doing, and that we know how to get you on the required level of Dutch, I want to say, don't worry about it too much if you're worried about learning a Dutch language, because you don't have to be. And again, yes, the 20 weeks, in those 20 weeks, it is possible to reach the required level of Dutch. But if it turns out to be that you need some more time to learn the language, logically, we'll guide you also in this. But honestly, we also see our dentists passing right away after 20 weeks. At the same time, I would like to say it's definitely possible to pass right away from the language exam after the 20 weeks of studying. Besides the learning part and the fact that we also are helping you to find you a dental clinic, Also, we will provide you dental training by my colleagues Rita and Daniela. Rita, by the way, is from Portugal. Daniela is from the Netherlands, and they are our dental colleagues, and they also help you by informing you about the protocols in the Netherlands. What can you expect in the Dutch dental clinic? What is the hierarchy in the clinic between the manager, the employees, the assistant, etc. So just to give you like a sort of prep course before you start working in a Dutch dental clinic. And besides, Rita is also mentioned in the other slides, is also the ones who will be available for you if you have any questions about your work in the Netherlands while you're working over here. Especially, let's say, if you are a just graduated dentist, everything can be quite exciting maybe in the beginning. Well, she will be available for you as a listening ear. So if you have any questions about it, never hesitate to contact her so she can help you out. At the final week of the course, so then we are talking about the 20th week of the course, then we have the exam training, and on the final day, we offer you the exam at our final day of the course. The idea is that after finishing the program, after finishing the course, we then already have then arranged your job in the Dutch dental clinic, so that after finishing the course, you start with your internship in the Dutch dental clinic, what we have selected for you. It's good to know, by the way, that regarding the way how we search a clinic, sometimes people ask me like, hey, can I work in Amsterdam or can I choose the location? The answer is normally not. Why? Especially because of the fact that we would like to help you and are building a career for you over here in the Netherlands. Our main priority is to find you a clinic what also suits your profile, meaning what kind of vacancy that are available at the time that you finish our program has a good match with the person and dentist what you are. So maybe, let's say, if you prefer to work in Rotterdam or The Hague, and let's say we have a vacancy at that moment, it does not mean necessarily that that clinic is the best clinic for you, where you should work. That's also why we really would like to take our time to find out, okay, which clinic has a good match with you, with your profile. And that's also why we prefer not to focus on location first. However, if you have a very good reason why you would like to live somewhere, let's say you have family living somewhere, or you have another very good reason why you prefer to live over there, let us know as soon as possible in the whole selection process before joining a program, so that we also can take it in consideration once we start finding a clinic for all our dentists. But the thing is, the advantage of this is that once that we have found you a clinic, you don't have to arrange it yourself anymore. So our services is also not only offering you the language part, it's also that you have a guaranteed job in the Dutch dental clinic. As I said before in the beginning of the webinar, it's not a guarantee that you have a good job. It's not a guarantee that you are working. But if you join our program, we can guarantee you a job for a duration of 3 years over here in the Netherlands. And if it turns out to be not a good match, or let's say you would like to leave after a while, or with a good reason, logically, or for some reason, maybe the clinic would like to have another type of colleague in the clinic and they don't want to continue with you anymore, maybe in that scenario, we cover your back and we will be able to find your job as soon as possible afterwards. So you're covered during the duration when you're here in the Netherlands regarding the job part. Next one, the BGB program, part 2. So it's not only helping you with the language part and finding the job part as well. It's also the help with the relocation installation in the Netherlands, because that's the next step. So once you have learned the language and you're ready to start working in the Netherlands, logically, then the next step will be your installation in the Netherlands. So meaning finding accommodation, but also applying for a Dutch bank account, inscribing yourself in the Dutch municipality, all the things that you can think about, what you need to arrange. That's also, again, part of the program we offer as well. So help with the paperwork, your registration. And as I mentioned, that's also why it's so important that you pass as soon as possible the language exam, because until you haven't passed, you're only working under supervision. So that's also why our clinics, where we are working with, all the time ask us like, hey, how far is this dentist with the language? Because that also means that she doesn't, or he should not work under supervision anymore. That's also why it's so important to pass as soon as possible for the language exam. And that's also the reputation what we've built up in all those years. We are delivering dentists to the Dutch dentistry market who also are registered in the end. So that's also why, yeah, it's also part of our reputation as well. And it's a win-win for everyone. For you, because you master the Dutch language. For the clinic, because then they have a registered dentist in their clinic. And working under supervision means you are able to work in the clinic, but it actually means that another colleague of the dental clinic where you are working needs to be legally present in the clinic so that you are legally allowed to do your job. And as you can imagine, at short term, that's not big of a deal. However, at long term, then the clinic really hope that you are registered in the end. So that's also why it's so important to focus on the language part in the beginning, and then yeah, you will see it also will give you a kickstart, a boost for your career over here in the Netherlands as well. Also, as you can see, again, the kickstart in the Netherlands by Rita, as I mentioned a few minutes ago. Rita is also part of the recruitment process as well. So now we are also inviting our dentists who we have in process, who are thinking about going to the Netherlands. A step in our selection process, besides talking with me, also we will invite them to a conversation with her. Why? Because she's a dentist and I'm not a dentist. So I don't know technically if you're good enough to work over here in the Netherlands. But Rita is, and besides sharing her own experiences as a Portuguese dentist to you, you can ask her anything what you would like to know about how does working as a dentist in the Dutch dental clinic look like? What do I need to think about? Where do I pay attention to? What kind of software are they using? Everything what they need, what they use in the clinic. At the same time, Rita is also the one who will do a dental assessment with you. And so by discussing some clinical cases, she will know very well if you have the skills, if you're ready to start your career over here in the Netherlands. And if that's a yes, then you will be invited to come to our office as final step in the selection process here in the Netherlands, where we'd like to meet you in person and also, invite you to final interviews in order to get selected. But as you see over here as well, we have a 3-year guidance collaboration. So we have a 3-year contract with our dentist. We are also aware of the fact that 3 years is, of course, not very short, but at the same time, we really think that 3 years is a very good period to really enjoy the benefits of the Netherlands. And so, let's say you would have a 1-year contract, then you just unpack your bags and you have to pack your bags again already because your contract ends. But 3 years is also a very good period to really enjoy the benefits of the Netherlands. At the same time, we also need 3 years as BGB. And that also brings me to the cost topic as well. About this whole program, there's nothing what you have to pay. So actually, we would like to offer you this program, but there's only one thing what we ask you in return, and that is your commitment and your availability for 3 years' time. Why? Because in the 3 years' time that you're working over here in the Netherlands, we will be able to finance your cost while you're working over here in the Dutch dental clinic. Let's say you would break that rule or you would break that commitment and you would like to leave earlier than 3 years. Only in that case, we are, as a sort of like penalty clause, obliged to ask you to pay for what we have invested in you, and you need to pay something back to us. But that's also, if that's not the case, then also there are no costs also for you in that way. That's about the contract. Professional development. That's also another topic, and also one of the pillars also of our program as well. Besides helping you with the language, besides finding you a clinic, besides helping you with your installation over here in the Netherlands, professional development is also an important aspect of our program. So it's not only getting you from Spain to the Netherlands and then good luck with your career and your life over here. No, we really try to help you the best way possible, professionally speaking, meaning Rita and also with her colleagues, once in a while, we also organize our own master classes. Recently, for example, about crowns and onlays. We have a collaboration with From Roots in Portugal, where we invite a dentist to go to if they would like to know more about endodontics. So all the time, we're trying to help our dentists also with their professional education. So sometimes we organize something ourselves. However, if you find something interesting yourself, like a master or a post-graduation, if of course it is part-time, because it should not affect your full-time agenda in the clinic what you have during the week, but we're all the time open to think with you and also to help you with your professional education. So if you have found something about that, let us know and we can find out also how we can help you also with this. That's about that. Salary growth, also an important thing to know, what you would like to know more about, what we offer you. We work with an initial salary and a salary what we would like to offer you while you're working over here in the Netherlands. So as I said before, as part of the selection process, we value every dentist separately, and we would like to know you better. So to find out if you have if you're meeting the BGB criteria, so if you're a good person to work with, if you have good language skills, meaning if you also have a good level of English in order to be able to learn the language. Regarding dental skills, do you meet the dental skills in order to work over here in the Netherlands? Again, that's not valued by me, but will be done by my colleague Rita and also her other dental colleague Daniela. They divided both. But still then, we don't know how good you really are as a dentist, meaning we don't invite you to come over to the Netherlands and that we're gonna test in the clinic how good you are, and that we, based on that, we're gonna think about the salary for you. No, based on your experience and the way how you present yourself, what you gave up as experience, and also the way how you did the dental assessment with Rita, we would like to offer you a salary. And I already can tell you that that usually lies between 3 and 4K netto to begin with as a start salary. While working in the Netherlands, this can increase up to between 60 and 100,000 netto on annual basis. So you have quite a good perspective to grow to a higher level of salary. And that's also something that will be discussed during the biannual evaluations, because every 6 months, it's not because, as I mentioned before, we don't only want to help you and wish you a good career over here. No, we also would like to keep in touch with you. We are working together for 3 years' time. And that also means that every 6 months, we would like to have a check-in moment with you to find out how you're doing, how's it going in the clinic. Then we're also going to discuss the results in the clinic, what you have been making in the months before. And if it turns out to be that you are performing very well and you are actually performing way better maybe than expected, that's also the time to think about a salary raise. So that's also usually a topic what can be discussed in the biannual evaluations. And as I mentioned before, to give you an idea about your perspective, while you work in the Netherlands in those 3 years' time, this can increase up to between, let's say, 60 to 100,000 on a yearly basis. So it's really up to you. If you're doing well in the clinic and you're making good turnovers, then it's up to you how fast you can grow to the salary what you would like to earn. Why? Because also your whole salary also will depend on the turnover you make. It's a little bit too technical to explain also right now in this webinar, but the idea is actually that your whole salary also will be paid based also on the turnover you make in the clinic. So also the whole financiation of our program for you, our investment in you, also will depend on the turnover you make in the clinic. So if you do well in the clinic, everything works perfect. But that's also why we would like to see very well in the beginning how good you really are as a dentist, and to offer you a salary while we think, based on our experience, this is a good salary to start with. And if you show us that you are able to perform very well in the clinic and you're making very good numbers in the clinic every month, then it's up to you how fast you can grow to higher salaries afterwards. Final topic, requirements. Actually, I already said like between the lines already. Who are we looking for? Dentists who are, yeah, who have a nice personality. You are a nice person to work with for a couple of years. You have an adventurous mindset, so you have the ambition to go to the Netherlands for a couple of years. So in our case, at 3 years contract. You meet the dental skills in order to perform well in the clinic. As a just graduated dentist, it's good to know that regarding the dental skills, logically, we don't expect that you will be able to perform the most advanced implant on day number one. No. So in order to get selected as a dentist, what we expect as a dentist, what you have been able to gain as experience, you feel confident about the basic treatments in dentistry, meaning you're able and you feel confident about doing a checkup, doing a filling, an extraction, an endodontic treatment. You know something about pediatric dentistry, the simple prosthodontic treatments. That's the minimum, and that's also what you need to feel confident about in order to get selected. With time, once that you are here and you are starting to make higher turnovers, you are getting experience over here in the Netherlands, then with time, you also will be able to do more advanced treatments. And that, of course, usually is also bringing higher turnovers at the same time as well. But as minimum, we expect that you are able to perform the basic dentistry treatments from the beginning, and you need to feel confident about these treatments in order to get selected. And besides, finally, the language requirements. So in order to get selected, you need to be motivated to learn a new language. You like to learn a new language, and at the same time, you need to have a good level of English in order to get selected. If you have knowledge of other languages, only a pre, but a level of English, that is a good level of English, sorry, is required in order to get selected. Final part, next steps. Now, I've been telling you, say in a nutshell, but globally also how a program looks like. Let me summarize it once again. Who are we and what can we offer you? We are a young team that is already having more than 12 years of experience in helping Spanish, but also other European nationalities, but even in any case, European dentists to start a career over here in the Netherlands. By the way, I say European dentist. If you don't have a European nationality, but you do hold, so now in this case, a Complutense, but you do hold a European degree in dentistry, then also we will be able to help you, because in the end we would hire you as a dentist, but then if you are holding a non-European nationality but you do hold a European degree in dentistry, then we could apply for a sponsorship for you, meaning that we can be your sponsor, and then also means that with a sponsorship you can get selected for our program as well. Usually, we would advise in that case at least 1 year of experience, because dentists with a sponsorship, they usually start with a higher salary from the beginning. So in that case, I would advise you to maybe wait a little bit if you are considering going to the Netherlands and now you are studying dentistry. I would say try to gain some experience first, at least a year, in order to apply for the sponsor program. But if you would like to know more about that, that's also what you see over here regarding next steps. If this all sounds interesting to you, or you would like to know more about it, get in touch with me. And we can also talk about it in another video call. Besides me, we have also, as I mentioned, ambassadors. So as I said, I am one of the BGB internal colleagues. I am a Dutch guy, but I am not a Spanish dentist. So if you would like to know more about how living and working as a dentist in the Netherlands looks like, but then through the mouth of a real Spanish dentist, let me know. and I will get you in touch also with them. And I said, at this moment, two of our dentists, David and Iñigo, they are right now in Madrid. They attended yesterday the stand of the UCMpleo, but today they will be in Madrid in Angus Greens on the Gran Via for personal conversations. If you would like still to meet them today, let me know afterwards, and I will send you the contact details so you get in touch with them. Furthermore, I would say take some time to think about it. You can also check our website where you can also read more testimonials, stories also of our dentists, where you can also read more information also about how our program looks like, and all the information also what you would need actually. We have several groups per year starting. So let's say if this sounds interesting to you, and let's say you are right now in your final year of dentistry, we are selecting new groups again in August and also in October. For August, I can say we already have a few dentists of Spain selected. Just to let you know, but August and October will be the two upcoming groups for this year. But usually we have groups starting every couple of months. So at the same time, we also do it together. Only do it when you feel ready about it. But yeah, once you feel ready and you would like to apply, let me know, and yeah, I will invite you to the selection process. I hope it was interesting and that you liked yeah, this webinar and knowing more about who we are as BGB and the way how we help our dentists. Again, let me summarize it in short. Who are we? We are a team with already 12 years experience, being an accredited, recognized language institute, what is allowed to offer the language exam to you. So we know what we have to do to get you on a required level of Dutch within a period of 20 weeks time. It is intensive though, that's for sure. But if you are really motivated to go to the Netherlands and you also like to learn a new language, I'm sure that you will be able to do well in the course. And the rest, we will take care of it, like finding a job of Dutch dental in a Dutch dental clinic, help you with the relocation, finding accommodation, help you with the paperwork, etc., etc. Besides helping you with professional development wherever we can. What else? A guaranteed job, 3-year contract with, I think, good salary perspectives. And yeah, last but not least, I think an adventure of your lifetime. So going to a new country, maybe some of you already have done it with an Erasmus, I don't know, but going to a new country, I think already is a big adventure. But with a 3-year, yeah, living and working here for at least 3 years, and as I said before, we see our dentists now having bought houses over here and they are staying longer normally than 3 years time. But that is of course very personal. But I really think that if you have been here for a couple of years, you can really enjoy the benefits of a country and to really grow professionally in your career as a dentist as well. So guys, I hope it was interesting enough. And if you have any questions, or again, if you would like to get in touch today still with our dentist, let me know. And here you see finally also my my contact details. So feel free to scan the QR code. I will leave this page also for a couple of minutes, so you can also check it out and scan it whenever you want. But you can reach me also, what you can see on the left side, on the different channels, by email, Arjen at bgbdentistry.nl, or by Instagram, or Facebook, LinkedIn. I am reachable at several channels.